Okay, now we've got Tyrannosaurus Drip.
It's the other reader.
It's another reader. It's a big reader. In the swamp beside a river where the land was thick with veg lived a herd of duck-billed dinosaurs who roamed the water's edge. And they hooted up with rivers, and they hooted up with reeds. They hooted up with bellyfuls of juicy water weeds. And they shouted up with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with the bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaurs. And they muttered down the water, and they muttered down the wet, and they muttered, what a shame that bridges aren't invented yet. Now a little complex, oh, that's a hard one, but for short we call her Comp, found a duckbill egg and stole it. And she swam with it and ran with it and murmured, clever me. And won't the baby Comps be thrilled with duckbill egg for tea? And the duckbill egg went rolling, and at last it came to rest. Now the mother T had great big jaws, and she sang, catch out my terrors with your scully tails, and your spiky little toothies, and your scary little nails. And she grumbled, he looks weedy, and she grumbled, he looks weak, and she grumbled, what long arms, and look, his mouth is like a beak. And he said, I'm really sorry, and he said, I'm really simply can't, and he said, this meat looks horrible, and I'd rather eat a plant. And they shouted up with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaur. Drip's sister soon grew big enough to hunt with Dad and Mum, but they turned on Drip and told him, you're not fierce enough to come. So he ran off to the river, and they hooted up the rivers, up the reeds, up with bellyfuls of juicy water weeds. And Drip, who was delighted that they hadn't ran away, ate bellyfuls of water weeds and played with them all day. That night the lightning crackled and the storm blew down a tree, and it fell across the river, and the T's cried out, yippee! Drip's sister stepped onto the bridge, but then began to frown, for there in front of them stood Drip, who yelled, look out, look down! Their mother scolded, nonsense, and she joined them on the tree. Then she looked into the water and exclaimed, good gracious me! And how the duckbills hooted when he landed with a crash, and the tree bridge broke, and 4 Tyrannosauruses went splash. And spluttering and clinging to the branches of the tree, they went whooshing down the waterfall and all the way to sea. And that's the end.